Bailey, there's been a question on my mind the past few months.
All right, hit me up. What you got?
Are ghosts real, like
Are
trolls or
ghosts
gnomes?
real?
Or are they fake like gremlins?
That is a hot topic. I would say,
Are you
I
Googling if
personally,
ghosts are real right now? She
no,
is Googling, are ghosts
I'm,
real?
I'm not Googling. Okay, I'll Google it. I'll Google it right now.
Ask ChatGPT.
The AI overview is no, ghosts are not scientifically proven to be real.
Interesting.
However,
Well,
many of
great
us
talking
do
with
believe
everyone
in
today.
them. Yeah, that's it. Cue the
Uh,
music. No, I do apologize for my dark lit room. I have a bunny and she chewed the wire to my ceiling light.
oh,
Because
wow.
my house is very old, so
Mm.
we just like hung a chandelier up on a hook, several hooks, and then ran the cord down the wall, and she chewed it. So,
That's the
and
issue
she,
with rodents.
yeah, she is a rodent. She's very sweet though. I'll go grab her
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
if
show
you
her
want to
off.
see
Show
her.
her off.
I'll go. Oh yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, you're back. You're looking straight at the camera. Ah. Oh. Oh, jeez.
Did you see the? Oh! Calm it
She
down,
on
girl.
something right now. Jeez. Those
She
thumped
kicked the
so
mic and
loudly.
everything. Anything you'd like to say about chewing my ceiling light wire, huh?
Slow blink.
Anything you want to say? You want to say hi? Hi. What? What? You so cute. Aw. She just likes to cuddle up and sit just like this.
That's so
She's cute.
precious.
All right, I'm going to go put her back in her pen.
Oh man. So
There is
that's the
bunny hair all over my everywhere now.
walked right into that. It thumped so
Yeah.
loud when she was kicking.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's like
I'm
thump, thump,
glad
thump,
we
thump,
were
thump, thump.
recording. That was hilarious. Well, she thumped when I put her back in her pen. She gets pissed if I take her out and don't hold her for at least 42 minutes.
Mm, that's about right.
And she loves to cuddle, but if you stop petting her, she'll like do this thing, like like try to dig on your shirt to like get you to keep petting
Oh,
her.
they get such fun little personalities.
She is so sassy, so
Oh,
sassy.
that's so lovely. My in-laws have a dog where if you quit petting him, he's on the floor, you're on the sofa, he sticks his nose under your hand and then like moves it back around so it's on his head.
That's adorable.
Man, so he's about at the same intelligence as a small rabbit, so that's exciting. The
Yeah.
200-pound mastiff mix, he's huge.
Dang.
Yeah,
Probably
he's
still
pretty
has a,
chunky.
yeah. My dog died a week ago.
Oh,
It's okay.
rest in peace, TJ. Rest
Rest
in
in
peace.
peace, Timothy Jimothy. And I'm only laughing because it was completely unexpected. And everything in life is super strange and absurd. And he just laid down and died with no
Honestly, as far
signs.
as dog deaths go, and I know it's never easy to lose them, but like you said, he went out to his favorite spot and just laid in the
Yeah,
warm weather and just
just,
passed in
I
his sleep,
guess,
basically.
kind of too late for a trigger warning here. But
Yeah.
yes, he had a favorite spot in our flower garden in our backyard, like a flower bed. And I let him out in the morning and he just went out and laid down and died
Well, I'm
in his favorite
sorry.
spot.
And
I mean,
that's
I get it. You know, I don't blame him. So,
God. What is
my
that?
friend made me this out of construction paper.
Oh,
Annalise. It's all
what the
construction
heck?
paper. It's so nice. It was so nice of her to do. and he had a little like bandana with ghosts on it. I'm tying it back to our episode tonight.
Yeah, Annalise
um,
or Henri Matisse, because that is some wonderful paper craft.
oh, she did a great job. You should follow her. Her pen name is A. Dot Meany. I'm gonna double check her social media really quick.
Yeah,
Make sure
absolutely.
that we get her, that I get her handle correct. Oh no. So her Instagram, if you want to check it out, is art by Annalise. No spaces or dots, and Annalise is Analiese. So I guess you could say Annalise, but it is Annalise.
Okay, we'll go
Just
with
so everybody
Annalise.
knows. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was super sweet of her to do. Um, yeah. So that was heavy, but maybe my dog's ghost is still hanging around. I would
You
like
never,
that.
you never know. You never know. You know, we went on a few ghost tours recently, and one thing, oh, a bunch in the past couple of years, but I haven't heard anybody mention a ghost dog, which I
Okay.
think we had a ghost dog in a movie theater, right?
No, we had a ghost dog in my house after we moved in.
Oh,
Do you
what?
remember this story?
No,
Okay,
please
really
recap.
quick though, for those of you listening, thanks for listening. This is Niche Knowledge and Nonsense. I'm Bailey, and this is my co host,
Ethan.
Ethan. And every 2 weeks, we alternate topics. This week is going to be a little different than what we normally do because we're going to be
Mm.
talking about a recent fun thing that we did together. We don't have a ton of notes. I think we're going to do a lot of this just like we're just
Yeah,
chilling,
casual
talking.
recap. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, casual recap. Yeah. So, yeah, but we, a couple months after we moved in, so we moved in October. Um, and my daughter was almost, she was about 2.5 at the time. And she kept talking about seeing a white dog, like a small white dog in our living room. And I thought maybe it was just like a TV show we'd been watching, like her
Mm-hmm.
imagination, whatever. And then the people who previously owned the home, who we purchased it from, sent us a Christmas card in December. And it was it was like a collage of pictures on the postcard, and there were two pictures of little white dogs, and then on another picture was an urn with a picture of a little white dog on it,
No.
literally. And I was
What
like,
the
what?
frick?
But she is 6 now and doesn't talk about the little white dog anymore.
I mean,
So
it's common for that connection to the other plane to dissipate as people get older, so or so I've heard. She was I guess she's a little past the age where the poltergeist kid got pulled into the TV. That could still happen, but
yeah, that might be kind of fun. I don't know.
yeah, you
But
never know. I mean, that
yeah.
that show ended up okay. You're the one who has to hop into the pond full of real skeletons.
Yeah, that's true. They did use real skeletons for that movie, which is fudged.
Yeah, it's pretty
Fudged.
freaking weird.
I said fudged.
I heard it was a surprise for for the lead actress.
Yeah, I don't think they knew. I don't think they were aware.
That's wild. That's how I
So,
would want to find out.
yeah,
Every time I see a dead body, I'm like, ah! It spins my head around, baby, right round.
a dead body. How
Yeah,
often do you see a dead body, though?
not too often though. My father now works at a funeral home.
That's right. You told me that. So,
For
is
sure, for
he
sure.
like driving the hearse around and stuff?
He sure is. I'm like, if he becomes a full mortician, we can have a podcast where we can get four morticians in one episode. And that would be pretty
We,
awesome as like a new record.
oh my God.
We talked
That's
about all the
amazing.
way back to our mortuary science episode. We thought it would be really fun. Our initial idea for that was to try to interview like 3+ morticians and just constantly like
Yes.
have a super long episode where we keep interviewing morticians just every few minutes when it gets quiet.
Yeah.
Um, but
Though
you know,
we still have time. We could still do that.
yeah, we're still
I
relatively
mean,
young. We're only at the halfway point in our life.
mhm.
All right. So, anyway, speaking of things happening in life, we were able to go to the Haunted America conference in Alton, Illinois. We kind of told people in some previous episodes that we would be checking it out, and then we have been
Mm-hmm.
promising for a couple episodes that we would recap everything that we got to experience. So, it was a very, very full weekend, but Kayla, my wife, and I, we were able to host Bailey over here, and man, we got supercharged on Supernatural. And I don't mean Sam and Dean Winchester. I'm talking about real ghost experiences.
It's true. I felt one touch my butt. So
Did you?
it was my
I
lower
thought it was your
back.
latissimus
Yeah.
dorsi.
What the hell is that? What did you
Uh,
just call me?
probably, probably Googleable.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So it was kind of a mixed weekend where we went on a couple of haunted site tours, and we of course went to the big convention with all the supernatural programming. But where do you want to
Mm-hmm.
start, Bailey?
Yeah, well, why don't we start like the days in order? So I drove up on Friday night because we all had like you guys had work and I was home with the kids, so I couldn't
Yes,
leave till
yes.
later. But I drove up on Friday night. It was like it was like almost 3 hours because I took like the back roads way.
Sure, sure.
So it took me a little bit longer, but it was really pretty. And when I got to your house, I brought all my stuff in and then we drove to, was it in Jerseyville?
Yeah, Jerseyville.
Jerseyville, Illinois. So,
To go on a
um,
haunted, basically midnight, almost midnight tour of
yeah, it was at 10
the.
o'clock.
Yeah, what's the
Yes.
formal name of that building?
The Oddfellows Lodge in Jerseyville, Illinois. So, the Haunted America was started by Troy Taylor, and there may have been other people involved in that, but
Mm.
he's the only name that I remember off the top of my head. But they host conventions, as we've said, but they also do ghost tours, and it's all across like the Midwest. So there are some in Iowa, Illinois, Missouri. There may even be some like up north, maybe in the South. I know that they go to like, where was it, North Carolina,
Yeah,
places like that. Like they'll make group
not just
trips
the
and
not just the
yeah,
Midwest. They're pretty well networked into other supernatural
yeah,
event circles
yeah.
across the states.
So how it works is you pay, however much money to tour each place, and they have a designated person to give a tour who's either the owner of the building you're at or like a volunteer of some sort. And then after you get the tour, you're just allowed to roam free and do your own ghost hunting until what was it, 2 a.m.? So from
Yeah.
10 to 2. Um, and when we got there and we're waiting outside on the sidewalk, everyone's like slowly walking up. They're waiting for everyone to get there. I thought I recognized a woman, and turns out that I did know her, and she was actually giving the tour of the Oddfellows Lodge that we went to. Her name's Jody, and I'd known her through a nonprofit that I work with here in Quincy. So it's kind of just like a really small world.
Very much
um,
so.
yeah. And it turns out, I mean, you guys didn't know her, but you have a friend who works at the same uh, college, or is it a university?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a college, but it was just a very small world moment and
Oops.
definitely got us into the mood to embrace coincidences, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
what I thought we saw there all night. Just a bunch of creepy coincidences.
Well, I have to agree with you, Ethan.
So the Oddfellows Lounge there was really interesting because it had a whole bunch of like hangers of ceremonial garbs for that membership thing. Oh, you got a little goblin hopped up on the
Yeah.
desk there. That's a cat.
Oh.
Um, but and I think the scariest thing was when like the um costumes that were everywhere, like at the strike of midnight, they would all like float off the hooks and like go through the room in procession and then just like go hang themselves back up. But I thought like half of them seemed kind of fake-ish. Like,
That did not happen. Ethan is totally lying. But here, let's give a little bit of background. I did type a little bit of that up
sure,
so
let
that
it rip.
people know what the Oddfellows are. So, um, the Oddfellows played a significant role in the community's social and civic life, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries. While the exact founding date of the Jerseyville Lodge isn't specified, um, it was likely established in the mid 1800s as towns in Illinois were growing with the expansion of railroads. Oddfellows lodges often served as important social centers and mutual aid societies before the advent of modern insurance and social welfare programs. So, from what I understand, it's like um, a blue collar version of the Freemasons here in the US, but they kind of focus more on like charitable work and community service, where the Freemasons kind of focus on like self improvement and making, you know, good men better. And it's essentially like a fraternity that you can join. However, they
Sure.
do have like regalia, that's what they call it, of the robes, and they have ceremonies. So that can kind of make it feel like a cult, but it is more like a fraternity. But from the outside looking in, it definitely is odd. Um, they are the odd fellows,
Yeah, and
so
they'd be okay with that, I
you
think.
know, yeah, I think so. They're the ones who picked the name. So,
Hmm.
but they really have done quite a bit of good for the community in Jerseyville, and even the group here in Quincy. Um, they've raised thousands of dollars for families in need, or I mean, just a lot of different organizations that also offer help to people in the community. So they do a lot of good work. It just does feel a little cultish from the outside looking in. So,
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
yeah,
And again, that can be fine once in a while. Everybody likes their traditions. That's why every culture has them.
true. The regalia, though, that they wear, like the long robes and stuff,
What are they, like
I
purple or
asked
something?
Jody. No, they are original. So they're from the late 1800s,
Hmm.
early
Those
1900s.
could be haunted. How many people do you think have died in each one?
I'm not sure. um, but it was definitely strange. I mean, the building itself is a little dilapidated. So they
Sure. A
had like,
little water damage happening
yeah,
and
they need a new roof. So if any of our listeners have $65,000 laying around that they feel like donating to a good cause, that could be an option. Just putting it out
cha-ching.
there.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
OG move.
yeah, but I mean that's kind of gonna happen with old buildings. Um, so but it is strange. I mean, it is all of the paintings were original in the main entrance, and we have pictures too that I uploaded from our trip. So let me
So
I
yeah, at
don't
the Oddfellows Lodge, we were three of maybe a dozen or so investigators. There might have been a few more who kind of popped in and out. There were a couple simultaneous haunted tours going on at the same time.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, Bailey got some really interesting pics. You can see it's a pretty old Main Street style building. They left a lot of the original features in place. Like I like the plain stained wood that somehow hasn't gotten painted over in white latex. That's always fantastic
Yeah.
for some of the trim.
Yeah. I'm going to do a screen share here so we can just share it
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
over there. So, um, this was in the main lodge room. So these three chairs here would be for like the noble grand, and then the two chair holders next to them. And you can see up here, like up on the wall, I don't know that I can zoom in anymore. No, I can't. But you can see like the hand painting and like this little flying symbol. Like those are all symbols from their organization. And they have them all over the room. Like this room was probably what, like two bus lengths
Yeah.
like a long and narrow room. And so I'll just flip through the pictures, but there's Ethan
Oh yeah,
by the
filling that whole
chairs.
door frame.
Yeah, yeah. So, but this was like the main area room. What is that on the wall? That's kind of weird.
Might
That
have been a
thing there.
hole
I
in the
don't know.
wall. I don't know.
No, it's like a lever
Probably
or
a
something.
ghost.
I don't know, dude. So, there's another chair that was just in the room.
Yes,
It is
yes.
kind of creepy. What is? Oh, it's just like a plant
Oh,
behind it
little bit. And again,
there.
it was also
So,
probably the low lighting and the darkness through the windows and everything like
yeah.
that. It
But look
was a
how
little
like
dusty.
this thing's old.
Yeah, somebody
Look at
sat in
that.
there a lot.
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah,
those
they did.
scapular depressions in the leather
Yeah.
on the seat back.
But the three chains are on almost everything. Like even on these smaller chairs here. So that's interesting. Um, So, yeah, and then this was the top story. So this is their attic. They have like some water damage going on because they need a new roof.
Sure.
Um, but Ethan, you brought a little Polaroid camera, right?
I did, yeah.
Why don't you
So
tell us what happened with that?
yeah, we brought a little Polaroid camera up there just because, sometimes they say ghosts prefer film over digital. Some people say the opposite. And when I brought it up there, it started spontaneously taking flash photos. Now, technology is imperfect and that kind of thing can just happen. Is it possible that I accidentally pressed the shutter? No. I'm a professional photographer. I'm not going to make a stupid mistake like that.
I mean, you are, but it was certainly strange.
It was
So,
pretty odd, and everybody
hmm
accused me of faking it, but I'm like, I'm team ghosts aren't real. Why would I be trying to generate evidence?
yeah. Well, here Kayla is standing on these scary ass little stairs.
Mm,
Here's another picture. It was right here. Kayla was
yeah,
standing like right here. And then your camera, like you just lifted it up a little bit and then it just like ching, and it was like
yep.
printing it out. And we're like, what the hell? So,
Exactly. I ended up
yeah.
throwing that photo away because it had that creepy clown in it, and I just, ugh, useless.
Shut up. No,
Okay, there was
there was
there
no
was no
clown.
clown.
No. So,
She
but
was
yeah,
freaking
that
out because
was.
she thought I took a photo of her without an image release.
But these are just some photos that were up on a wall. Um, I don't know who any of these women are, but they were previous members of the Oddfellows,
I
I'm
think
assuming.
that's Gladys, Mary, and Eleanor, and maybe
That makes
Dorcas.
sense. Yeah, and Dorcas. Yeah, that
Yeah.
tracks. So there's Kayla and you walking up to the attic.
Yes, yes.
Definitely very narrow
Yeah,
stairs.
narrow stairs,
Yeah.
maybe enough that two millennials could walk up them at the same time. And there was a queue to
Yeah.
get up there. Again, there were maybe a dozen people or so on the tour, and some of them had
Mm-hmm.
very big beards, and they probably had to move in single file, lest their follicles brush against the wall.
They
Um,
did actually. I wish
yeah,
I had gotten the names of those
they
people.
looked like real wizards,
Um,
though.
they did actually. Like that man probably could have a family of gnomes in his beard if he
He
wanted
might
to.
have been a very large gnome. I cannot confirm nor deny. But one of the advantages of going with some other people is there were folks there on Ghost Adventures and they were way more experienced than we were. And they had their own equipment, which is what Bailey is kind of showing if you're watching the video right now.
Yes.
What is that little box called?
So so all of this equipment is sitting on a pool table, and this was just behind like their kitchen area. Um, and the black and red thing is called a REM pod. So
Mm,
the way that it works is electromagnetic fields. So if you walk up to it, it will like make a noise and it will change light colors.
because you have a
Um,
magnetic personality.
oh, well, thank you. But no, because it there are changes in the magnetic field. So
Oh,
people
interesting.
um will will say like the science behind it is ghosts have their own electromagnetic, yada yada, and then they go up and they
Sure.
touch it and it goes.
Now,
It's not like a What are those things called? The music thing? Like,
What is that called? A theremin?
yeah. Okay,
Bless
sorry.
you.
It was the bunny
So,
hair. Um,
absolutely. So yeah,
yeah.
and that stands for Rapid Eye Movement Pod. And the reason it freaks out when people go near it is because we still have our ghosts inside of us when we're alive. They haven't peeled off of
Mhm.
our skeleton yet. And the reason sometimes the REM pods can go off when there isn't a skeleton nearby is because that ghost is moving freely in the spirit plane without the skeleton anymore, which
It's
is what
just
we
their
call a
eyes,
haunting.
though. It's just the eyes, though, right?
I have no idea. I'm not a ghost
I don't
expert
know.
here.
No, it was very interesting though to talk with the guy. And what was his name? Travis, Tyler. I don't know. It was a T name. I feel
Something
bad.
like that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know, but
so
he
bad
was
with
very
names.
kind and let us borrow some of his stuff. He had that little speech box thing and
Yes. And I forget what that thing's called. You can tell we're not experts on this. We just
mhm,
showed up for a good time and that's what we had. But he said that out of all of his devices, the REM pod is the most reliable and the one that he has had the least amount of um experiences with.
sure. He
So, it's
mentioned,
only
yeah,
yeah,
over several years he'd only had what, like I didn't remember what he said, 2 to
3
4
or 4.
meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah. Like where it would go off and there was no way to explain it.
Hmm.
I do have the video of the bell going off.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So
So,
that was interesting, but I did not realize that is actually a battery operated bell
mhm,
that also goes off of electromagnetic fields. And there's electricity in the air all around us, especially, I think, if your wires aren't grounded, right?
if you wire things in certain patterns and make like a coil, or if you have non-grounded electrical, all kinds of things can make waves.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the best place to get a reading would be a building with no running electricity, like the
Hmm.
electricity's turned off, or in the middle of nowhere where
Sure.
there's nothing. I think would be like the best way that you could get
And
a reading off of that, I think. But
even then, you can
yeah.
have static. You can have EMF
Mm-hmm.
changes and generations from solar activity. Like, there's a lot of things that can cause it. But as far
Yeah.
as like mitigating variables and things that you might not be able to control, maybe in
Mm-hmm.
the center of like a big empty warehouse would be a good spot, or maybe the
Yes.
basement of a pre-electrical asylum, or out in the haunted cornfield like Stonehenge, something that there's not going to be man-made electrical.
Right. Yes. And the other things they had, these little balls are actually cat toys that light up when you move them.
Mm.
They claim that the ghosts can move them or light them up. We did not see either of those happen.
Yeah, and a
Um,
few people said that it was kind of a bit of a bummer night as far as supernatural activity. Um, but
yeah,
maybe we were bringing too much positivity, so we scared off some of the ghosts.
true. And there was a shop vac on the pool table when we got there, and I
Mysterious.
took it off. So that
Yeah,
was interesting.
and we were never able
Yeah.
to explain why the vacuum was on the pool table, so that could have been a ghost experience in
Yeah,
itself.
it could have been.
Yeah, it could damage the
So
felt.
behind that room was a storage closet, and this picture here was just some of the stuff that was in there. I don't know, it looks like toilet paper. So when you shit yourself going through these ghost tours, you know where the toilet paper is, and also some old Christmas stuff. There's you and Kayla in action. Kayla is loving the ghosts.
Oh yeah, she was chatting them
You
up.
She was. And you are holding the little device that would pop up with words. Kayla was just asking questions like, who are you? Why are you here? What is your problem? Why are you the way that you are?
Hmm.
We didn't really get a lot of good answers. So,
We
Yeah.
did not. We did not. It was just giving us like, "Hey, Macarena," like that kind of nonsense feedback. But it gave
Yeah.
us a couple of words, and it was just something to do in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't personally
Yeah.
feel like the lodge was that creepy so much as just like old. Um,
I agree. It was very old. And we did try to play spin the bottle. I kept my Celsius can. We tried to play spin the bottle with a ghost, and we had
yes,
no takers. Kayla and I
none
both took turns.
whatsoever.
Nope,
Yeah,
none.
so the ghosts were not feeling particularly conversational or amorous or humorous.
No.
So that was a bit of a bust, but as the night dragged on, we were in for more surprises. Namely, that we ended up getting a 2-for-1 on haunted tours because we were so charming.
No. Okay, so yeah, that kind of worked out in our favor, and I don't know why they ended up letting us go, but they did offer to let us go to another house in Jerseyville called the Cheney House, the Cheney Mansion.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of history on that, um, which was wild. So it was probably around 1 in the morning that they offered to let us go there. Um, and the Cheney House was originally built in 1827, and then the Cheney Mansion evolved from a little red house into the 12-room mansion that it is today. And it has had different uses and purposes over the years, including a stagecoach stop, a private residence, and now the headquarters of the Jersey County Historical Society. The mansion's history includes its role in the Underground Railroad with a hidden area in the basement. And the first thing they told us when we got there is that the last owners of the house are still hanging out there today.
Yeah, so they
So,
so so they say, and we tried to get some of the timeline info on if it was retrofitted to have the secret passages or if it was built with those in mind. And since it was kind of built on kind of right before slash during the mix of things, they say they don't really know. It could have gone either direction, and so much stuff has been done with the mansion over the years that it makes it hard to tell what's original structure and what was dug out later
yeah,
on.
the city actually didn't know this, but we were down in the basement and there's like a little carve out in the brick foundation with a bunch of like wood stools and stuff. And apparently that was the entrance of this tunnel that went under the street and into a neighbor's house across the street. And the city did not know about this until sometime in like the mid 1900s when they were doing road construction. And one of the giant equipment things fell through the ground. And that's how they
Yeah,
found the
that's
tunnel that
discovering
connected
the
the
tunnel. Yeah,
houses.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they don't know when the tunnel was built. There were no blueprints of it, which I mean, if you are helping slaves leave
Hmm.
slavery, you're probably not going to want that
No,
in
don't
the
want to leave too
blueprints with the
many
city.
records. Yeah, they'll start taxing
um,
you on it. They'll say that's a permanent
right,
addition. That's finished square footage.
right. But kudos to that family for
Yeah,
helping.
absolutely.
You know,
Wonderful, wonderful
I
piece
don't
of
even know how
history.
many people were helped with that. But it was really, really cool to learn about that. And they also had cameras set up in every room and in
Every single room.
every single room. We were not allowed to sit on furniture. We could only sit on the floor.
No using the
Um,
toilets.
no use. Wait. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah, because they weren't
You were like,
working.
did you mess up?
I was like,
Ugh,
no. Um, but we did end up talking with a couple of different tour guides. One
yes.
of one
Yes.
of which said the most um like active ghost that's at the Cheney house is actually a little girl up in the attic which you and Kayla went up in, but I did not because it was such a tight staircase up there that I got claustrophobic and I was like, I'm just gonna wait down here by myself
Yeah,
because
it was more of like a slightly sloped ladder. Like I'm
yes.
seriously like I'm not super massively broad, and I was almost shoulder to shoulder getting up the little tunnels.
Yes. It
But it
was
was
very
really
small.
cool that if you ever watch a movie, like if you've seen The Boy, where there's like passages in the walls, um, it's kind of like that. That maybe it's for maintenance, maybe it's for transit, it's because it was an underground railroad home. But there were all
Yeah.
kinds of weird architectural decisions, and that did give it a little bit of an eerie feel. But just because it was a little bit jarring. You almost didn't know which direction you were as you moved through the upper passages.
Well, it's interesting too because like our the home that I live in was built in 1894 or 1896, but even
In
our staircase
1894, Columbus sailed the ocean
no.
floor.
Even our staircase in our house is extremely steep.
Sure.
Um and people a lot of the time were shorter back then. So when you go look at furniture and stuff, the couches were lower to the ground. They didn't sit as tall. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah, they were
Um,
Bailey-sized people, though. There weren't.
yeah, they're my size furniture, and now everything's too big, you know?
Right.
So, no, I'm joking. But so that, I mean, you have to take that into account too. But I mean, they were wearing giant dresses and stuff. Like, imagine wearing a giant dress and going up those stairs, you know?
Yeah,
So,
that would have been a nightmare.
no.
I would have been a first floor mistress only. Um, but we got to go on like a
Oh
really cool
man.
lights out exploration. We met some people doing stuff with little motion detection lights, doing stuff with digital candles. Like Bailey said, there were a few tour guides who were experts in the building. So I feel like we got a pretty complete experience. And again, it was
Yeah.
kind of cool out in one of the reception areas. It was more like a foyer, like a faux
Mm-hmm.
kitchen kind of thing. They had a big TV that showed all the different security feeds, so the people managing it could keep an eye on the tourists. But also, if you wanted to watch your equipment from like a house monitor, you could do that.
Yeah. So you could leave a recording device in there and see if you catch any sounds or voices or any anomalies.
For sure.
Um, yeah.
Now, with that, Bailey, did you feel like you had any supernatural experiences, and how many ghosts did you meet on this night?
Well, I did not meet any that I know of. I mean, we were in a bedroom upstairs, and one of the tour guides claimed to be talking to a little girl. She had set a lantern on the stairs and shut the door, and we could see the lantern lighting up off and on in the hallway, and nobody was in there. And it was like on, it was like reacting to this woman's voice, like she was asking questions, like we're not here to hurt you, like we're just here to say hi, and it would like light up. So that was interesting. But when we went back downstairs in like the front room, there was like a fireplace in it. It looked really nice. I started to get dizzy and I felt like weird. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt weird like someone was watching me. I don't know if I was just freaking myself out at that point. I don't really get too freaked out. But we walked into the room next to that, and I swear to God, I felt like someone was like putting their hand on my lower back like this, just like standing behind me, touching my back. And I mean, that weirded me out because I turned around to see who was behind me and nobody was there. And I felt it there for a while. And I had you and Kayla feel my shirt, and both of you guys said that it felt cold. Um, and then Kayla said she also felt like she had been touched on her like shoulder. So that was strange. I think those were really the only interactions that I had that were like notable there. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, did you have any or?
I did not. I kind of wandered from room to room as people would tell me that their ghost detection material was detecting real ghosts and definitely not just ghost detecting material trying to detect ghosts, yeah, as it's sold on Amazon. Um,
Yeah.
but again, I enjoyed going through it. I didn't really see anything creepy. I enjoyed the tour and I enjoyed the history of the
Mm-hmm.
building. I enjoyed the architecture. Nothing too creepy as far as I went, but again, I've been to much creepier places. I've been to much older places. I've been to, some of the oldest places in the world, and I didn't feel anything supernatural.
Yeah.
And then I try to think of like the only places where I feel like you do feel something, you know,
Yeah.
otherworldly might be some like European churches, and that architecture is specifically, built over hundreds of years to try to evoke feelings of the divine. So, it's
Right.
in the exact design. And
Yeah.
like, yeah. Oh, there's a cat again. It's trying to usher you
It's
to
11.
bedtime.
Yep, she
Yeah,
is.
almost. It's 9:30. Um, but no. Again, like I'm always willing to try to receive some supernatural signs. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but also, again, my core beliefs are that uh, if the soul is real, I don't believe it hangs around after death. And if it's not real, then I know it doesn't hang around after death. So,
There
um,
you go.
and
Yeah.
it's, I feel like also I do get phantom ants. Do you ever get that where if you have like an ant on you and it bites you, you like smack it off and then you start feeling like you've got ants other places even though you don't because you're anticipating the sensations that you felt of an ant being on you. You contextualize that usually there's not one ant, it's usually a colony. So if there's
Mm-hmm.
an ant on you, there's probably multiple and you start getting little phantom twinges and stings and whatnot. And I feel like ghost activity can be the same. That your nervous system is a complicated thing, and your brain has so much power over perception.
Yeah, it can
So,
be kind of like a pseudo effect, or maybe
well, your
you
muscle
are.
can physically, like, if you're like, what if
Yeah.
something touches me? Your muscles can literally involuntarily contract because you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
that.
trying to put anything into like what if you feel like a ghost
Yeah.
was there, but
I don't know how else to explain it. I do get muscle spasms. I've never had them in that spot on my back before. I normally get them in my neck, or like in my face. Like I'll get facial spasms. I don't know if sitting in the car for that long maybe messed up my back.
that
um,
that's fair. That's fair.
and whatever. Just trying to think of it logically and make sense of it, but
I
it
think
was still
the
a strange
easiest
experience.
explanation is
So
that there was a ghost. The other stuff
that,
is just kind of annoying, like developing back problems. Well, we are
yeah.
pushing 40.
Well, we just entered the 30s, Ethan, so don't
Yep.
rush it just yet. So,
Um, but with that, I think some other people maybe had some more meaningful experiences. We were kind of at that point also starting to wear out. I don't think we got to sleep that night until like what 2-ish or something
yeah, it
by the
was
time we
around 2
got home and
and
wound down.
yes, and then um I think I was up until 3 that night and we had to get up pretty early to go to the convention around 8. So I think we only
Yes,
got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So that was a challenge, but you had stocked up on some monsters. Um,
always.
we got McDonald's breakfast, kept us going, kept us fueled,
Definitely.
and we were there. The convention was great. It was at, what was it, John Wood Community College?
I don't remember. It was at one of them. It was what's it called?
Lewis and
Not
Clark.
Lincoln. Lewis and Clark. That's it. I was like,
Lewis
it's
and
not
Clark.
Lincoln Land. Yeah, it was at Lewis and Clark College. Really cool convention space. A lot of booths, people selling cool crafts and stuff. I think Bailey, you got some. pieces of art. I didn't know if you had them nearby on your desk or anything, or if they're off in the yonder, like the
I mean,
eyeballs.
I could grab them. They're just
Oh,
like in the other room.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it
I'll
was
share it on the Instagram
yeah,
page
sure.
so that people can see them.
So it
Yeah.
was a lot of stuff that was just, creepy, eerie, alternative, ghost adjacent, that kind of stuff. So you, of course, had some people selling crystals and doing astrological consultation to figure out like what might help you. People
Mhm.
selling old horror movie toys, that kind of stuff. So you would wander around through those booths and then go to any number of big sessions on creepy topics, held by
Yeah.
various experts from the area and abroad.
Yeah. So on Saturday, we missed Friday because we were
Working, doing adult
working.
stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately. But on Saturday, I've got it pulled up here. A guy named Jim Willis he did a presentation on things that he's worked on and some creepy encounters. He's heard about like headless ghosts, doppelgangers, and then he mentioned like the world's largest washboard because he's from, was it Ohio?
Yeah, something like
Somewhere.
that.
Yeah, I
Some
think it was
podunk
Ohio.
area.
Yeah. And then a woman named Erin Taylor spoke about mental health and how it can play a part in the paranormal. So that was interesting. Later, there was a woman named Sherry Brake who spoke about how your blood type can affect your paranormal experiences, whether with
Sure.
alien abductions or your psychic abilities. So
Yeah.
that was interesting, but her whole thing was how if you have a negative blood type, um, you could, well, first of all, it's more of a rare blood type.
O
I all
negative specifically, right?
O negative is very rare. I thought I was O negative. I looked up my like health chart through on my doctor's website. I'm O positive, and then I found out you and Kayla are also O positive.
Yeah, there were a lot of positive people in our row, I will say.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it was an
Wild.
interesting talk because it kind of threw me back to in early stages of the COVID pandemic. People were talking about blood types a lot because some people asserted that depending on your blood type, the virus would hit you differently. And then people started talking about here's an interesting fact. X number of CEOs all have this same blood type. Oh, all these royal families have this same blood type, yada, yada, yada. People got really into blood for a tiny little moment.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what her presentation was on
Sure.
because she brought up the amount of like presidents, musicians, just celebrities in general who have a big following all have like O negative blood type. Is it a
Mhm.
coincidence? Most likely, but it was
Yeah.
intriguing to
Well,
say
there's
the
over a
least.
hundred famous people in the world, so like
You're not
there's going
wrong.
to be a lot of yeah, there's going to be a lot of different blood types. I haven't sampled all of their blood, uh,
No,
for flavor or type.
yeah. I feel like, I mean, what would you do if you went to your next doctor's appointment and they took a blood sample and then he put in your chart that it tasted metallic and everything was fine?
I wouldn't. I don't know. It
You
depends
say,
on how good of a
you
doctor it
say,
is.
yeah, I just do like the
I
metal,
mean,
like, yeah.
if he's still writing me a script for perks, then it's like I'm gonna let a lot of stuff slide.
Yeah.
Um, but
There
if
you
not,
go.
I don't freaking know. Um,
Yeah.
But it was still interesting to talk about, and it was interesting to see people get excited over their blood type or disappointed if they got told you're likely to be occupations, a peasant, a grunt, a beggar,
Mm-hmm.
a farmer.
A farmer based on your blood type. Don't let those things put you in a box though. That you don't have to do those
Yeah.
jobs if you don't want to. You just may not be as successful because you're not as
Yeah.
special.
You don't try to hold
So,
yourself to the same standard that like we're performing at,
yes.
Like it's not your fault. Go
Yes.
easy on yourself. We're
Yep.
kind of amazing. That's part of being O positive.
We also got to see Troy Taylor present, which was really cool because he's an author and has a ton of
Yeah,
books
didn't
out
he write that
there.
one book or those 70 books?
Yes, I
He
mean, he
had
probably
3
has
booths with shelves on them full of original work.
full of original work. And he does a lot of researching and investigating on his own.
Hmm.
Um, and really digs into things. I mean, even old newspaper articles, um,
I mean,
dating
he
back to like
is
1900s.
to like
So,
Midwest ghost culture what James Gunn is to mid-level superhero directors,
yeah. No,
prominent.
yes, he's very well known for a good reason. And he spoke about black ghosts. Now, that's not where my mind went when he started talking about this cloaked figure that was just like attacking people and groups of men banded up against this cloaked figure that was terrorizing neighborhoods. So that was kind of a relief when he started speaking.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like in a black cloak.
a
Like
black
it's
cloak.
yes,
Okay, now I'm following. That did throw me off, but it was really nice to hear. And he does have a new book out that talks more about that. And I learned he also has a podcast. I didn't know he had a podcast.
doesn't surprise
Um,
me.
no. And so if you get sick of listening to us, you could hop over to him, talk about black
Definitely. Can't
ghosts.
guarantee it's going to be as lit as this podcast, but it also exists.
Yes, there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still interesting. I think we'd seen his name thrown around on a bunch of the Haunted America and adjacent stuff that we'd done. So it was cool to be in the same space, get to meet him,
Yeah.
take a couple of photos, that kind of thing.
For sure. Yeah, no, that was really cool. Kayla and I
Signed your
both bought a
books.
book from him. He signed our books. He wrote her a message, but not me. Um,
I don't know. What could he even do? You also look like
so
you'd be more into the supernatural if I'm just completely stereotyping on you being kind of goth.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't
Well,
know.
if I would have also probably just written her a message and mine would have said, "Thank you for being my wife," smiley face. And I would have written you a message too. You would have opened it, would have said, "Go to hell."
Go to hell. I would have rather him written that down. Go to hell, you dumb bitch. I'm gonna have to
Can
bleep
you,
that one out. I'm gonna
can
have
you
to bleep that
imagine?
one out. Sorry. I would eat it up. I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like so. I don't know. I'm over it.
So
So
with that though, did you have any like favorite programming? Again, mine was the blood type one, but what about you?
that one was pretty wild. I was interested in the first guy that spoke. I think he did a great job as a
Wacky
speaker.
Wallace or whatever his
Wacky
name was.
Wallace, yes.
Weird
Jim Willis.
Willis. Yeah.
Wacky Willis. He is just a character. He did a good job with jokes, um, making sure to keep everybody paying attention,
Hmm.
was very interactive with the group of people that were there.
Do you remember his blood
Um,
type?
I don't know that they ever said.
Huh. We'll have
So,
to figure that out.
yeah.
We'll get to the bottom of whether or not he had an O negative blood type, but he did have that vibe about him.
Yeah.
And
He
he
sure did.
he prided himself on being skeptical but very interested and had, that as his guiding principles, which we actually interacted with a few people like that. One of the people with the most ghost equipment said that when he does ghost hunts like by himself and he's not being like theatrical, he puts acrylic boxes over all the stuff to try to mitigate any external factors interacting with him. So I think we saw
Yeah.
that there actually is a good amount of skeptical people who still just really enjoy being in these spaces and entertaining the what ifs and getting the stories behind stuff, even if there isn't a real haunting.
Yeah. No, I thought that that was really cool and it wasn't. I mean, we still had a lot of people there who would take things at face value, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think there is something to be said about people. Whoa,
There's a few things to be said about people. I would agree. What?
Okay. No, I just saw a lot of lightning behind me in the window,
Whew.
like right there. Scared the shit out of me, and I
I
had to
thought you got
slowly
startled
turn
by
and look.
Adam walking around back there.
Um, it is thundering, and if Adam were to be crawling upside down with no shirt on into this room right now, I would probably shit myself. So,
Can you imagine? We'd end the podcast.
woo! I would like, I'd probably lose it.
Right. Oh, there is something
So,
crawling in there. Is that a cat?
shut the fuck up.
Oh, no. It was your chair. It's the red lump from the corner of your
Oh, the red.
chair.
Why would you say that's a cat?
I thought it was a really chubby cat. You got some
You
pretty
thought
rotund cats.
I do. They like to eat. They don't
Hmm.
have much else to live for besides the love I can give them and the terrorizing that my children give them. So,
For
you
sure.
know,
Yep, we took.
YOLO.
But yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. We didn't win any of the raffle prizes. I really wanted the haunted
No.
dolls or the embalming table, the used embalming table. Um,
They did have some really cool items to raffle off. And a lot of things were made by people who had tables there that were raffling their own
sure.
items.
Not embalming tables. That was actually on
No.
a bigger table. I thought it'd be great if we won the embalming table and we could gift it to Emily. It'd say now you can go
I,
into private practice.
yes. It was a very small table though.
Sure, just for
So,
embalming children
yeah,
or
that's so
pets.
dark. Or pets.
Or you said people were shorter
Oh
back then.
man. You know they were. They were.
Exactly,
So, I think
exactly.
you're right. Maybe it was like a traveling thing. We could just fold it
A
up into a
travel size
briefcase.
embalming table,
Travel
yes.
size embalming table. Yeah.
Absolutely. I wish I had one of those and I could just they could be embalming me with Monster.
Yeah. There you go. I bet it would work. Probably better than Abraham Lincoln being embalmed 7 times. So,
Yeah,
you
that was
know,
pretty upsetting. We heard about that back at our cryonics episode, I think, right?
yeah. It's when we talked
Wait,
to Emily at the
no, you're right. That was
mortuary.
the mortuary episode. You're
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, it
They
was.
he got embalmed
We
over and over, was looking a bit rough.
That's true. It was very disappointing that we did not win anything in the raffle, but I guess we'll just have to go back again next year.
Absolutely. And then we'll see. There might even be something haunted.
Maybe it's you.
It's
There
us haunting the same
yes.
location, expecting a different result, expecting to feel touched by a ghost
Or an angel.
or touched by an angel.
Touched by an angel.
Was that a soap opera?
I think so. Or a movie. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, you have anything else to talk about or
I don't. That was basically it. I had higher hopes for feeling something supernatural, but again, I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep going to haunted places. We have been tossing around the idea of taking a trip out to the Sally House, which is supposed to be the most haunted area in the US, at
yeah,
least, they say.
one of the more haunted. Yes.
Yeah, it's only a few hours jaunt from us, and I'd love to see it. I've even tossed around the idea. I've been into the idea of doing a few silent retreats. It's something
Hmm.
that is popular with boys on TikTok and Instagram these days. And I think it'd be great if I went and stayed all night at the Sally House alone.
You could ghost everyone and then go.
Yeah,
See what I
absolutely.
did there?
I'm gonna.
Just go on a
Yeah, I did.
silent
Order
ghost
Domino's to the
retreat.
place. Yeah.
Dude, do it and then invite the pizza guy inside with you and be
Oh
like,
yeah, then what if I
"You
opened the
want to
pizza
see
box
something
and it
cool?"
was this it was sliced into a pentagram? If I worked at a pizza place, I'd pentagram slice people's pizzas
Dude,
constantly.
do you think they would do that?
I'd be like, "It's triangles. Come
It's
on."
triangles. We have to try that now.
I'm gonna put that on our instructions next time we get a pizza. Pentagram slice the pie, please.
Okay. However, I will say most of the pizza guys I've interacted with are pretty chill. I feel like if you were to order a pizza to the Sally House and invite them in, be like, dude, do you want to ghost hunt with us? They might be like, my shift's over at 11. I'll be back again.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It could be. But yeah, did you have any last thoughts on the
Any
convention?
last words?
Yeah.
No, I think we got most of them out. Um, that pretty much covered all the trip. I'll just add the pictures in on our Instagram page so you can see some more of the pictures there. And I will post the video that I got of the bell ringing on the pool table at the
Ooh.
Oddfellows Lodge.
Yes.
So you can see that as well.
Tell us if it's real
Yeah.
or fake. We'll let the poll decide.
Yeah.
And if you're on the fence of whether or not you're going to vote, we usually get like 1 to 6 votes. So you could really be the determining factor on whether or not we go the rest of our lives believing ghosts are real.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now we're about 50-50, I think. So,
Yeah, I think
you
so.
know, but
It's interesting. There's nothing that could happen that would make me concretely say I do not believe in ghosts at all and they could never happen. But there's lots of things that could make me believe. That lightning in the window behind you is going nuts.
yeah, I saw it
It's
in the
going
window in
ham.
front of the computer too.
Yeah.
It's really loud thunder.
Pretty creepy.
Creepy.
Yeah, so better let you get off of here before the power surge hits. But thanks everybody for joining us. Again, our theme music is Cherry Crush by Sefero. You can check out all of his music anywhere you listen. That's Sferro. And if you want to drop us a line, you can do so at niche knowledge and nonsense at gmail.com.
Yeah, I would love to hear paranormal stories from anyone. So, I mean, or anything in general you want us to cover, email us or message us on
Yeah,
Instagram.
a deep dive on
So,
Elvis, more Elvis or crooner content. We could do that. A deep dive on the most haunted dog breeds, Dachshund, #1. Just let us know. Or
yeah,
yeah, if you have a convincing ghost experience or some evidence, we'd even love to interview you.
yeah. Love to see it, love to hear it. But I would not love to be you if you do have a ghost story.
Yeah,
So,
ghosts.
yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to another episode. We love to yap. Catch us next time.
Bye.